All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Raiderland Worldwide headquarters this evening. A lot of stuff going on. Glad you're going to be out there with us tonight. It is What If Wednesday. You saw the question on the website earlier. What if Texas didn't join the United States of America in 1845? How would history have been different? What would have played out? We can get into that if you want to. Tonight, though, a lot of basketball talk with the Final Four coming up. Are you a Big 12 fan? Will you root for Houston, or do you not want Houston to win? Why or why not? Texas Tech baseball RPI is really kind of fascinating looking at it right now. They're they're like the one of three teams with single digit wins that are in the top 100 of the RPI. I'm not saying they're going to make the NCAA tournament. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting looking at the numbers. And then Texas Tech announcing this afternoon two new members into the Texas Tech basketball Ring of Honor, Bubba Jennings and Jason Sasser. Get your favorite memories of those two and maybe ask who you think ought to be in the Ring of Honor as well with them. And we don't stop there. We respect, recognize, and pay tribute to the great Val Kilmer tonight. Give us your favorite Val Kilmer roles and or movies, all right? Your favorite roles or movies out of Val Kilmer's voluminous amount of work. Woke up to that this morning. Actually, it was about 2:30 in the morning, dealing with allergies, and I'm going, oh, well, that sucks. So you know what to do. The chat line is brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. Take advantage of that chat line tonight. Jump in. And then, of course, we are brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. He's worked with Texas Tech high-level athletes for decades. He can help you feel your best in West Texas. And brought to you by Lifts West, Hotel and Condominium in Red River, New Mexico. It's time. Start thinking about summer vacation. They book up pretty fast. You need to be in the heart of Red River, in the mountains, down by the river, just walking around, enjoying life and everything that you can do in the mountains of Red River, New Mexico. So call my friend Billy Hurst. Tell him we sent you there at Lifts West. In three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Started your day there, checked out the hot links. Everything was rocking and rolling. What if Wednesday, alt history question. And then we get you tonight, like we said, you got a couple of different topics. Are you rooting for Houston, yes or no? Val Kilmer movies, roles, top five, your favorites. Doesn't have to be five, anything. And then the Tech Ring of Honor expanded by two on the basketball side with Bubba Jennings and Jason Sasser. So thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street, you guys can get in and tell us what you're thinking about this evening. We're looking forward to some great conversation tonight. Hope your day has been good, because it's been good, I think for us. Alan Corbett, as for my house, he says, I will cheer for Houston. You going to cheer for Houston? Kelvin Sampson? Is it Big 12 all the way? Down in San Antonio, you tell us. Craig, the talking box is indeed on. Alan, Val Kilmer's best role, Nick Rivers in Top Secret, one of the 10 most underrated comedies in music history. That was early in his career, was it not? Like really early, I think, in his career. Chris, really good What If Wednesday question today. We're in the middle of the season for Texas history, from the beginning of the revolution in 1836 on to the culmination there at San Jacinto, and then really it continued on after that. We asked the question today, what if Texas didn't ratify joining the Union in 1844? Was it 44 they finalized, and in 45 they go in? What would have been different? The course of history in Texas, how different would it have been? When would Texas would have joined the Union? When would it have been? Before or after the Civil War? You tell us. All right. Craig, sad day. I found out that Boot City is closing. Indeed, Cody is in the process of throttling down there at Boot City. Obviously, you guys know we have a lot of love for them. We've had a great relationship with them going all the way back to Ken Sanderson, One Money 7 Mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. They are in the process of shuttering and closing down a Lubbock icon in Western wear. So if you are around the area, they have amazing deals right now. And go tell them thanks for, they supported me on radio and here. They supported Jack Dale and Steve Dale for decades. Again, going back to the Ken Sanderson days. And just if you go out there, tell them thanks, all right? You tell us. War with Mexico, inevitable. Polk wanted California. Yeah. The manifest destiny was strong, talking about Texas history. But it would have been fascinating if there had been, and there was a little bit of undercurrent, not much, but a little bit of undercurrent there in 1845 with Texians saying, well, hold on now, we don't necessarily have to join it. But there had been so many people flood into Texas with the express written consent of Major League Baseball saying, yeah, we want to be a part of the United States. We want to do this. Sam Houston was one of them. Huge unionist, as I would assume all of our fine students of Texas history know that Sam Houston was one of those that said, this is what we're doing here. This is what we want. But it would have been fascinating if they had not done it. American-Mexico War starts later that year after Texas is admitted into the Union. You know, Nueces, Rio Bravo, battling over that territory. Got on down to Mexico City. We really don't want this whole thing. So, and I should say right now, by the way, we had to wear this shirt today, all right? We absolutely had to wear this shirt in honor of Val Kilmer. A good friend of mine brought this back from Tombstone just a few months back or so, give or take. So yeah, we were like, we got to do this today. Val Kilmer passing away, a decade's worth of battling cancer, the throat cancer, everything else. If you are of a certain age, it probably gutted you like me this morning seeing that. And, you know, seeing that news and knowing that he hadn't been healthy. Kilmer had not been healthy for a long time. And then if you saw the scene as Rear Admiral Kaminsky, I can't remember his actual last name, as Iceman in Top Gun Maverick, if you didn't tear up just a little bit in the theater, and by the way, here you go, Val. The last movie I've seen in a theater was Top Gun Maverick. That was more than a scene. That was two friends saying goodbye with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. So we had to wear the shirt today. Your top 5 Val Kilmer movies, roles, everything else. It sucks that it takes a guy dying for people to realize how versatile he was as an actor. And I'd like to think most folks knew it, but like I was thinking about him compared to Tom Hanks, all right? Tom Hanks for 40 years has played Tom Hanks. Val Kilmer never played Val Kilmer. He played roles. That's what's called being a great actor is. Different movie, but yeah, I wouldn't trust him. Rio Bravo, did Dean Martin really sing during that era? Yes, he did. JC chiming in on our Facebook. No, that's YouTube. Sorry. Me and my icons can't get the icons straight. Too many icons. Texas, if survived, would have done so only with British blocking, so Canada South, until a generation later. And I agree that if it doesn't happen in 1845, it happens. Well, okay, if it doesn't happen then, it won't happen until after the Civil War, and here's why. Because Texas was going to go in as a slave state. You could slip them in 1845 during the land acquisition period in Washington, D.C. 10 years later, the abolition movement would have been so strong that if you are not brought in, they're not bringing you in as a slave state, probably in 1855. So from that standpoint, you would have to wait until after the Civil War, and then you have this idea of, okay, Texas would have fought on the side of the South. They would have been an independent nation supporting and supplying the South. The Union would have invaded, no doubt. The North would have invaded. You would have had probably more battles fought within Texas, actually. I say that really Trans-Mississippi, and once we get past Vicksburg in 1863, when Grant shuts them down after the long siege, and that capitulates on July 3rd, same day as what's going on at Gettysburg. You know, Texas really wasn't that meaningful. You had cotton that they were shipping out, but they were controlling it out of the Mississippi. So there was really no way to get even the Texas goods out for the most part after 1863. Robert says no, and I don't know what the question is. Not one of my favorite movies. He was great in Thunderheart. You know, another, not a little known movie, but not one that gets mentioned all the time. Timbo talking about Val Kilmer. He became Jim Morrison. 100%, absolutely. I've got that down on my top 5. Doesn't get mentioned much. It's an incredible movie. Meg Ryan. Hi there, Meg. And again, that's what I'm talking about, the difference between Val Kilmer and like a Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks plays Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks couldn't have been Jim Morrison, even with a wig. You forgot. And again, depending on how old you are, I mean, I saw it in the theater, all right? You would forget that what you were watching was a movie and not a documentary during that movie with the Doors. It's a great movie. And there will be scads of people going forward who will think of Jim Morrison more as Val Kilmer than the actual Jim Morrison. Chris talking about our What If Wednesday alt history question. What if Texas doesn't join the Union in 1845? Does Texas still control half of New Mexico all the way to Wyoming if they don't join the Union in 1845? Here's how I would explain this, and this is a great line from a movie, and I can't remember the movie it came from. You have the right to assert a power. Do you have the ability to exert the power? So Texas could have claimed control during that time period of the old, we've seen the map, you know, Rio Grande, mouth to its source and everything else going up and through the, all right, could you have controlled it? Would you have had the ability, say for 10 years to control it? I don't think you did. You were barely controlling the western edge of the frontier in 1845, going out west of the Fort Worth line and the line of forts and fighting Indians. All right. So you really think you're holding New Mexico? You really think no, you're not. Danny, no audio or video of Doc Holliday, but I'm pretty sure Val Kilmer was a better Doc Holliday than Doc Holliday. I told a friend of mine today that, and please don't take this as sacrilegious or whatever, but that I hope at some point today that Val Kilmer got to sit down with Doc Holliday and Doc Holliday go, all right, so that part was pretty good. Not bad there. I never said I'm your Huckleberry. That sounds so stupid. I would not say I'm your Huckleberry. But that was really good. The twirling the little silver cup, I like that part. I liken it to, you know, and I don't know your religious persuasions or otherwise, but when I get to heaven, I got questions, and I hope I can get there and get some answers pretty much straight off. I think there's like maybe a debriefing period when you get there and they go, okay, Beatles, Stones, yeah, it was the Stones. They were actually better. You know, ketchup, mustard on a hot dog. We really never intended ketchup to be on the hot dog. That imagine, and I hope and I pray that these things do happen. I truly do. I'm not being funny here. That Val Kilmer, I hope we got to heaven, and I hope Doc Holliday was there and going, hey, not bad. Robert says he's not rooting for Houston. We asked the question, are you Big 12 conference or are you just whatever this weekend? Robert, under no circumstances will not root for UH. You guys get in, questions, comments, thoughts tonight. Val Kilmer, top movies, favorite roles. What do you want to do tonight? It's up to you. You guys get in. And also, Texas Tech announcing that Bubba Jennings and Jason Sasser entered the Tech basketball Ring of Honor as it should be. We have thoughts. We have thoughts. Back to the what if. Texas would have held on until after the Civil War, but Texas would have strong trade ties with the UK. Civil War would have ended earlier than 1865. Thousands of Texans stay home and don't fight. Probably. Then again, maybe they do. Maybe they don't. John Bell Hood's brigade. Perhaps they go into action. Perhaps they don't. Now, the British would have been able to use Texas ports if they could get past the blockade, and the blockade would have been substantial, and there would have been a good blockade. So I don't know that it's just easy to say that the British and Texas would have easily maintained economic ties. That was still going to be tough, even during that time. Underrated movie when talking about Val Kilmer, Willow. Yeah, not one of my favorites. It's a good movie, though. It's all right. Chris says, yeah, I'm rooting for Houston. We chanting Big 12. We'll hear chants of Big 12. Big 12 this weekend in San Antonio. Well, Michelle says, go Big 12. Go Big 12 or go home. You tell us. All right, I want to also do some Texas Tech basketball tonight. Get your thoughts on Bubba Jennings and Jason Sasser going into the Ring of Honor, as it should be. And who's next? Who's not in that you would want in? Would it only be 5 flags over Texas, or would the Confederate flag still fly over Texas? I would submit that if Texas does not join the United States in 1845, it doesn't happen until after the Civil War. Again, because if you wait 10 years, the fractious nature of the debate over slave states, I think it would have been really hard for Texas to get in during that time frame. Don't think it would have happened that way. Rooting for Malik Wilson, UH, former Red Raider, seems to be a good guy. Seems to be a good guy, former Red Raider, so root for UH, whatever makes you root for UH. All right, Bubba Jennings would have scored 7,000 points in his college career if the three-point line had been there. He blocked Joe Klein in a Tech Arkansas game, the Olympian center from Arkansas at 7 foot. He could do anything you wanted on a basketball court. I think you probably could have put him in the inaugural class of the Ring of Honor. That he goes in now is good. Jason Sasser, absolutely. Sasser, as much man and myth and everything in between. That he was much more than the sum of his statistics. And if James Dickey never did anything else at Texas Tech, and he did a lot of great things at Texas Tech, when he dubbed him the Ultimate Warrior in 1995-6, there you go. Maybe one of the greatest nicknames of all time at Texas Tech, when James Dickey called Jason Sasser the Ultimate Warrior. He wasn't oversized big. He wasn't all that fast. He wasn't a great. He was the greatest, maybe the single greatest competitor in Texas Tech basketball history. And I would stack that up against Keenan Evans and his toe getting shot up every time he had to go play, and Culver, and fill in the blank, all the guys you want to fill in. That Jason Sasser, I don't know that there's hell. I may put him in like the top 5 of competitors all time at Tech in any sport. Give me others. I don't know that you can. And I love to see Sasser getting this recognition, because there's kind of been this odd forgetting of the mid-90s James Dickey teams. It ended badly, obviously, and I'm talking about the era with James Dickey getting fired and Bob Knight getting hired, and the probation that had really nothing to do with James Dickey for sure, and so many other programs at Texas Tech, that 95-96 team just kind of gets overlooked. And they had dudes, a lot of dudes. And I hear people, romanticize the 80s with Bubba Jennings and Jeff Taylor and Vince Evans and Quentin Anderson and, whatever. Don't hear the same thing about that bunch, Alan says we need to take this what if question offline. I can't offer all my knowledge in this medium. I bet you can. Danny jumps in on Facebook. By the way, all communication brought to you by United Supermarkets, Market Street, home of United Supermarkets Arena there at Texas Tech. There's one grocery store in town that supports Tech. There's another one that takes your money and puts their name on scoreboards in Austin. Great question there on Tony Battie. Tony Battie, boy, and he was good. You know, they recruited him. He was about 6'7", 6'8", and by the time they get done and sign him and bring him in, he's 7-footer. Did he do enough, or was he just a tall, skinny player who was good at shot blocking and dunks? He was good at Texas Tech. You can go back and look at the numbers. Obviously, he gets drafted, what we would call, I guess now, a lottery pick. When they still valued centers in the NBA in 1997. Draft of 97, I believe. Don't take this wrong, but it's a little bit like what he did later in the NBA career was a little bit like Patrick Mahomes, even though Battie played on really good Texas Tech teams, and Mahomes didn't play on really good Texas Tech teams. But a lot of what you remember is more so maybe post-Tech, and that's probably – no, I don't think I'm being fair right now. I'm probably shortchanging Battie right now. I mean, he did play a big role on a team that had a lot of really good players. It's a good question. It's a fair question. David back in. This is lengthy. So the handle of a casket was once known as a huckle. Therefore, I'm your huckle bearer would mean I'll carry your casket, not unlike a pallbearer. Yeah. Hack bearer, huckle bearer, huckleberry. Your huckleberry. A term of endearment, or it could be a term of I'm going to kill you. It would still be funny if Val Kilmer got to heaven today. Not funny if he got to heaven, you know what I mean. And there's the real Doc Holiday going, I never said I'm your huckleberry. What? Hey, I wouldn't say that. Oh, I hope the conversation occurred today. I truly do. Meanwhile, back on our Facebook, you can get in on all of it. YouTube, Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't cost nothing. Drive us over 500 this month, and cool stuff will happen. Brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor in Raiderland, and by Lifts West Hotel and Condominium in Red River, New Mexico. We got about another 10 minutes left with you tonight. Your favorite Val Kilmer roles in movies, which ones and why? Are you rooting for Houston this week? And who should be next in the Tech Basketball Ring of Honor? And we may do that even more tomorrow. I know we got a lot of stuff going on. Craig says, one of my absolute favorite movies with Val Kilmer, The Ghost in The Darkness with Michael Douglas about the man-eating lions in Africa. I missed that one. Do you do drugs, Craig? Let's see. No, you will not hear chance in San Antonio. Imagine what could have been. While you are perceived to be actually in an inferior conference, you want that conference to win. Take your pay crap out of it. So I think what JC is saying is root for Houston. I want Houston to win. You beat Houston on their floor. I want the Big 12 to look good. The first Tech basketball team I saw was that 96 team at the Sun Bowl tournament. Sun Bowl tournament? I assume that was in El Paso. The Hucklebearer theory was disproven by Kilmer, who is on record as saying that the line was Huckleberry. No, the line was Huckleberry. It's a derivative of Hack bearer. The word, yes, in the movie is huckleberry. The word is a derivative of hack bearer. Word of the day. All of a sudden, I'm O'Reilly. Let's see. Ring of Honor discussion. Stan Bonowitz, and did I even spell that correctly? You got close enough. There's a T in there. And I'd say no. Fine player, but no, not Ring of Honor worthy. Good dude, though. And if he's watching tonight, Stan, I apologize. The Mad Bomber. Alan, if Texas doesn't join the U.S., the French probably don't install their Habsburg puppet Maximilian. So if that doesn't happen, do we have the Battle of Puebla? And does Cinco de Mayo exist? Huh. That's weird. If I get to ask my questions in heaven, that's going to take a while. About time for Sasser and Bubba. No, I'm serious. I really think, I hope there's like a debriefing session or something, kind of once you get settled in and everything, get your stuff stowed away, whatever you got to do. It's like going to camp, you're going to be there a while. So you get stowed away, and then it's like, hey, I got questions. I got some answer. Don't know who necessarily exactly sits down and answers it. It could be a lot of different people. Yeah, a lot of questions. About time for Sasser and Bubba. I agree. The Hackberry Creek tea time, everybody. Michael Val Kilmer and Batman Forever with Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, my favorite of his. Okay, so I've got written down top 5 movies. Real Genius, Heat, which no one has mentioned Heat tonight. If they did, I missed it. The Doors, Tombstone, obviously, and I've got Batman Forever. I didn't see it in the theater. I'm not a fan of the Batman series, movies or otherwise. I've never seen the original one with Michael Keaton. I did see enough of that one to go, okay, yeah, pretty good. Real Genius, very early on, a very anti-American movie that comes out during the Reagan era, 84, 85. And it's basically making fun of Reagan's concept of Star Wars, but it's a good movie. It's a funny movie. It's a good movie. But make no mistake, it is peak 80s Hollywood hating on Reagan. Oh, he's going to build Star Wars and we're going to, nuke the Russians and do this and that. Okay. Yeah. That's what that is. But again, Kilmer really good and Real Genius. Heat, not a favorite movie of mine, but he plays a great role. I didn't even write down Top Gun. Yeah. Should. He gets credit for 2 movies. And here's one tonight. Is there a better going away scene in a movie than Top Gun Maverick with Val Kilmer? The only thing I could compare it to would be the entire movie of The Shootist with John Wayne, which was John Wayne's going away movie. But it was even more poignant, I think, in Top Gun Maverick because of what we knew to be going on at that time with Val Kilmer. Craig jumps in. The Ghost and the Darkness is based on a true story. It's a movie that you would really like. How do you know what I like? Find it, watch it. You won't regret paying for it if you have to. I regret paying for everything. You do not know how cheap I am. Truly. You do not know. All right, so I'll put it in the mix and everything. But yeah, I was thinking about that today. The 2 best going away scenes for an actor are John Wayne is the main role in The Shootist. Was it John Brooks or whatever it was? And there you go. Kilmer in Top Gun, and we'd all been led to, even with the lead up to it and knowing he was going to be in it and knowing he had the throat cancer and what they were going to do, it still blew me away in the theater when I saw it. Me and my wife saw it together, and I'm trying to be all cool and everything. It's just like still, golly, come on, man, that's ice. But you also knew it was Kilmer. I think for that moment in the movie, it wasn't, you know, Captain Pete Mitchell. It wasn't Maverick. It wasn't Ice. It was two friends having a moment on screen that we got to watch. A couple of more minutes left. I think we're going to have to do another one on the Ring of Honor for basketball, maybe tomorrow, on who should be next. We've been dominated by all sorts of good conversation all around on different things tonight. That's great. That's what I like. You guys are the best when it comes to a wide-ranging conversation, handling different topics in real time. I mean, from Texas not joining the Union in 1845 to Val Kilmer and Texas Tech basketball, and do you root for Houston? That's a lot of stuff on your table. You guys should give yourselves credit. In fact, if I were you, I would share this tonight once we put it on our website, theraiderland.com, and I'd put it on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff. That's what I would do if I were you. I'm going to do it, and I'm me. Who dat? Knocking on the door? It's you. Me? No, you. Danny, going away moment. Top Gun Maverick for sure. I'll always love Kilmer's Doc Holliday. His dying moments. Looks down, bare his feet, and says, "Oh, this is funny." Not a going away scene, but close enough. We look back on it today, and I actually texted that to somebody who has commented on this show tonight and said, I kind of hope this is sick. I kind of hope his last words were maybe looking down and going, "This is funny." I doubt it was, though, because Val Kilmer wasn't Doc Holliday. He was Val Kilmer. He wasn't Jim Morrison. He wasn't Batman. He wasn't the Iceman. He was an actor, but he was just so damn good at it that we ascribed certain attributes to all of his characters to who he was. And, I can't remember. I saw a little clip today of him, telling or talking about it, or somebody talking about it, him saying, that I was just playing a role there. I'm not really Doc Holliday. But my gosh, what better testament to an actor than you made people believe you were freaking Doc Holliday, Peyton getting in. I'll root for Houston. My favorite quote is "Batman forever." Partner has to go his own way to be great. Yeah, I didn't see enough of Batman Forever. I can't talk to that one. Can't give you much on that one. It's good stuff. Maybe the most versatile actor? Nah, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. We got plenty of time to figure it out. But again, you never watched, I would say this early on or anything else. You never watched him in a role and say, "Oh, he's just being Val Kilmer." The way I guess it's a criticism, because I'll look at Tom Hanks in movies over the last 40 years and I go, Tom Hanks being Tom Hanks. It looks like Tom Hanks. It's Tom Hanks. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Tom Hanks. I don't know. Michael is on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Free. Everybody subscribe. If you're on YouTube, give us thumbs up and share. Pierce Brosnan as James Bond and Val. I think, okay, I got it. That when you think of a character, Pierce Brosnan is Bond. Well, you're young, and Val Kilmer is Batman. Now, this is me, that if you ask me, like my first Bond, it was Roger Moore of the late 70s, not Sean Connery. Now, over the years, you see the older movies and everything. But yeah, for me growing up, it was Roger Moore was James Bond. Who was this Sean Connery fella? What's he doing? Oh, he made some movies once upon a time. We didn't talk about Tech baseball tonight, and Texas Tech baseball is thankful for that. We will be back with you in the morning. It's Over Underrated right Thursday on the website, theraiderland.com. We're going to archive this put it out there just a little bit. You guys can do the same thing if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. You can share it right now. Invite your friends in. Tell them we have a lot of fun every day, every night, right here in Raiderland. You know, it's not hard. Don't cost nothing. It's all free every day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to our great sponsors like United Supermarkets and Market Street. There's one probably near where you live, McAlpin Chiropractic. His slogan is not, if your back's out of whack, don't call a quack, call Kevin Mack. But it could be. I don't think legally you can say it. And Lifts West Hotel and Condominium in Red River. It's springtime. Snow's starting to melt. That means good runoff, good fishing, and great summer nights in Red River. You need to call Billy Hurst and tell him we sent you. And when he gets done cackling with laughter, then he'll get you set up with a great place to stay in the heart of Red River. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Check out everything we do, theraiderland.com.